There are several extinct animals that could come back, and we wouldn't be just talking about which one. We will also discuss why they are being brought back. Let us start. Number 1, the direwolf. We already discussed this in our last video, but this animal that went extinct over 10,000 years ago has just been brought back and is no longer extinct. On April 7th, biotechnology company Colossal Bioscience just announced the revival of the dire wolf, which had gone extinct over 10,000 years ago. They announced the successful birth of Romulus, Remus, and Khaleesi, which on the surface can be claimed to be the de-extinction products of the dire wolf who existed millions of years ago, but just went extinct over 10,000 years ago. But are they? Using CRISPR technology, researchers were able to edit the genes of a gray wolf to express specific dire wolf traits, like size, skull shape, and fur. And the result? Animals that look like dire wolves but genetically are still mostly gray wolves, more like a genetic remix. However, Romulus, Remus, and Khaleesi are more like engineered replicas, not the true dire wolf that went extinct 10,000 years ago. But what do you guys think? So why were they brought back from de-extinction? Believe it or not, dire wolves could help rewild and restore our ecosystem. Dire wolves were apex predators that shaped Ice Age ecosystems. Their return, in controlled settings, could help control overpopulated prey species, such as the deer and boar, that damage modern forests, thus keeping ecosystems balanced. Their genes could also boost genetic diversity in captive breeding programs, as modern wolves are critically endangered. Unfortunately, Romulus, Remus, and Khaleesi would not grow up in the wild, but instead live the rest of their lives in a secure and monitored 2,000-acre ecological preserve undisclosed by Colossal Biosciences. Number 2, the woolly mammoth. This project already has a $225 million plus funding. And the reason why it is being done is mainly due to climate change. If you watched Ice Age, then you are probably familiar with this incredible mammal that lived during this time. The woolly mammoth went extinct around 4,000 years ago. This incredible species was roughly the same size as modern African elephants, but its close living relative is the Asian elephant. They share 99.6% DNA with mammoths. So why do they want to bring back the woolly mammoth? Well, woolly mammoths were ecosystem engineers. When they roamed the Arctic, they knocked down trees and trampled snow, maintained grassy tundra landscapes instead of forests, and kept methane-trapping permafrost colder by reducing snow insulation. Bringing them back could slow permafrost melting, which is a huge contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, restore a Pleistocene-like ecosystem called Mammoth Steppe, and possibly help fight climate change in the long term. Colossal Biosciences, the same biotechnological company that revived the dire wolf, also plans to do the same with the woolly mammoth. In fact, their scientists were able to successfully reconstruct a woolly mammoth mouse. They call their project Rewilding the Arctic, because they're not just bringing back a species, they're reviving an ancient ecosystem. However, if they are successful, just like the dire wolf, it would not be a true woolly mammoth, and instead a genetically engineered Asian elephants that have traits of a woolly mammoth. CRISPR technology will be used here, and the process will be the same as in the dire wolf, which I explained in this video. The first mammoth-elephant hybrid calf is expected around the years 2027. Another revival project conducted by Colossal Bioscience is the revival of the dodo bird.
No!
The dodo bird, scientifically known as Rhesus cucullatus, is an extinct flightless bird that went extinct in the late 1600s due to human activities. It lived only in Mauritius, and its closest relatives also extinct and flightless Rodriguez solitaire. The two form the subtribe Rafina, a clade of extinct flightless birds that are a part of the group that includes pigeons and doves, the family Columbidae. However, the now closest living relative of the dodo is the Nicobar pigeon. They share a common ancestor. Colossal Biosciences recovered the ancient DNA from preserved dodo remains, mainly bones and eggshells found in Mauritius, and successfully reconstructed a high-quality genome using computational techniques. They officially sequenced the full dodo genome in early 2023, which was a major milestone. So instead of reviving the dodo directly, scientists aim to edit the Nicobar pigeon's DNA to reintroduce the genes that made the dodo unique, and this would be done through gene editing and cloning. The dodo bird could help restore biodiversity in Mauritius and provide a test model for avian de-extinction, which is harder than mammals. Before we proceed, did you know that the dodo bird went extinct before the light bulb was invented? Number 4. The passenger pigeon. This was once the most numerous bird in North America. We are talking billions, an estimate of 3 to 6 billion, who flew in massive flocks so dense they could block out the sun for hours. Sadly, they went extinct in 1914 due to mass hunting and habitat loss. In the 1800s, they were hunted on a mass scale for food and sport, and their habitat were destroyed due to deforestation and agriculture. The last known passenger pigeon, named Martha, died in captivity in 1914 at the Cincinnati Zoo. Scientists are working on editing band-tailed pigeon DNA to recreate passenger pigeons, and the goal is to rewild eastern US forests. Australia already has enough dangerous animals as it is, but one dangerous carnivorous that is in the talks to be revived is the Tasmanian tiger. The Tasmanian tiger was the world's largest marsupial carnivore from Australia and Tasmania. This species went extinct in the 1930s due to hunting, habitat destruction, and competition with newly introduced species, like the dingo. Its closest living relative is the numbat or Tasmanian devil. So, can the Tasmanian tiger make a comeback? Well, Aussie scientists and Colossal are attempting to bring it back using marsupial gene editing and surrogacy, and its revival could help restore balance in Australian ecosystems. Another giant predator that could be revived is the cave lion. Panthera spelaea, commonly known as the cave lion, or less commonly as the steppe lion, is an extinct Panthera species that was native to Eurasia and northwest North America during the Pleistocene epoch. Even though the cave lion did not have any natural predators, it still went extinct around 13,000 years ago, majorly due to climate change which affected their prey, and also they were being hunted down by human beings for their pelts. It is closely related to the modern lion. Especially the Asiatic lion is believed to be genetically close, and DNA was recovered from a Siberian permafrost. Multiple well-preserved frozen cubs have been found in Siberia, some as recent as 2015, 2017, as well as 2023. These cubs were frozen in permafrost, meaning their DNA is actually in pretty great shape compared to older fossils like dinosaurs or saber-tooths. Scientists have successfully extracted high-quality genetic material from them, and that's huge for de-extinction. Theoretically, scientists could edit a modern lion genome using CRISPR to match the cave lions, but bringing back the cave lion is debatable because why would we want to reintroduce a larger predator? We already have us. However, their revival could restore the Ice Age-like ecosystems. So, with all these extinct animals coming back, is it possible for us to bring back dinosaurs? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments, but I will give you a hint. The more DNA stays, the longer it degrades. DNA has a half-life of about 521 years, meaning it completely breaks down after 6.8 million years, even under ideal conditions. Dinosaurs went extinct around 66 million years ago, which is way past the point where DNA could survive. But here is the thing, dinosaurs didn't completely vanish. They evolved into birds. So, can we reverse engineer a dinosaur-like creature by taking a chicken embryo and tweaking its genes to express more ancient, dino-like traits like a long tail, clawed fingers, or teeth? This is an actual project called the Chickenosaurus Project, led by paleontologist Jack Horner. Yup, the same guy who advised Jurassic Park. The idea is not to bring back a T-Rex, but to create a bird-dinosaur hybrid that gives us a window into evolution. So what do you think? Which of these animals would you like to see brought back from extinction? That is it for today. I hope this video provided value to you and see you on the next one.